Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming. And again, due to guidelines, we'll be quick. So we're here today to announce that in the next 3 weeks, we will be doing 3 things, all of which are very much needed in the Senate. There are 3 essential items on our plate: the trial of President Trump, now that the House has impeached him, bold, strong COVID relief, and approving the President's cabinet, desperately needed at a time like this. The Senate must and will do all 3 and the Senate must advance all 3 in the next few weeks, and we will. And we will. The stakes are too high to delay any of them. So let me discuss each one. First, impeachment. On the impeachment of the President. The House managers will come to read the articles of impeachment at 7 p.m. on Monday. That's January the 25th. Then, on the 26th, members will be sworn in to sit for the trial, because remember, the senators are jurors. The House is like the prosecutor, and the Senate is like jurors. After that, both the House managers and the President's defense will have a period of time to draft their legal briefs, as they did in all the previous impeachment trials. And during that period, the Senate is able to do other things, and the 2 biggest things we will do are approve a number of the President's key appointments and advance the COVID relief bill in a bold and strong way that helps New York and helps the country. That's what we will do during that time. In terms of impeachment, look, everyone wants to put this awful chapter in American history behind us, but sweeping it under the rug will not bring healing. The only way to bring healing is to actually have real accountability, which this trial affords. And so we will move forward with the trial. It will be fair, but it will move at a relatively fast pace. Let me talk about COVID relief. The President, with a good deal of input from we Democrats in the Senate, has put together a bold, strong plan for COVID relief, $1.9 trillion. It includes many of the things we need. We all know how desperately we need vaccines across America, and he has a plan to do that and greatly accelerate the number of people who can be vaccinated. We need state and local relief here in New York and in many other states, so that bus drivers and sanitation workers and nurses and firefighters and so many others will not be laid off. Many, many states, including ours, are hurting budget-wise and need that relief. We need more help for transit. We're able to get the MTA the money it needed to continue operating at present levels, but they're going to need more money. We need money to help the unemployed. There are many, many unemployed people. And people need checks in their pockets. And we will increase the overall amount people get to $2,000 a person. That would be $4,000 for a couple, $8,000 for a family of 4. All of that must get done quickly. We hope our Republican friends will see the need and work with us, but if not, we will get it done. There are other means that we can use, including reconciliation, that will enable us to do this. And finally, on nominations. Last week, we confirmed 2 of the most important of the President's nominees, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, the first African American to ever have that position, and our Director of National Intelligence. Scheduled to be voted on Monday night is Janet Yellen, and she will be, I believe, affirmed. She came out of committee 26-0. I'm proud to say she's a Brooklynite, a graduate of Fort Hamilton High School, the rival of my high school, Madison High School. But there are other positions that we must fill. Secretary of State, Department of Homeland Security, Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Health and Human Services. With all of the domestic threats, with all of the foreign threats, and with the crisis where we desperately need vaccines, and other ways of fighting the crisis, we need these cabinet officials approved quickly. And again, we hope our Republican friends will join us. So it will be a busy, busy 3 weeks. Busy 3 weeks. Impeachment, bold COVID relief, and the cabinet. And we will advance all three in the Senate. And one final thing I want to talk to about vaccines here in New York. So I spoke to Mr. Zients. He's heading up the COVID response team for the administration. I told him we need three things: predictability, communication from the federal government, and vaccines. The state needs to know, the city needs to know what to expect in terms of supplies so they can set up the distribution system, and they need to get more vaccines. And I told Zients we need all of this as soon as possible. We all know that the whole mess was because the Trump administration paid no attention to this, it's particularly in terms of getting the vaccines out to the states and helping the states understand when they were coming and how to set up a distribution system. I have a great deal of faith that the Biden administration, when it comes to vaccines, will see a total turnaround, and it will be effective and efficient and move in a very positive way. Questions on these subjects?
Mr. Majority Leader, wait, say that. On the Senate, have the rules for the trial be set, will it be live witnesses, and also on rules, when will the organizing resolution be adopted? And can you do that with 50 plus Paris, or you need McConnell?
Okay, let me just say a few things on this. First, on the trial, we have negotiated the preliminaries of the trial and when the trial starts. I didn't mention that. The trial will start the week of February the 8th, and as I said, I believe it will be a fair trial, but it will move relatively quickly and not take up too much time because we have so much else to do, but at the same time it will be fair. On the organizing resolution, Mitch McConnell will not dictate to the Senate what we should do and how we should proceed. McConnell is no longer the majority leader, and in every Senate in the past, they have come to an agreement on an organizing resolution, Democrats and Republicans, to move forward. McConnell standing in the way, he will not dictate to us how we move forward. That's it. Next.
Thank you, will President Joe Biden revise his COVID-19 relief plan monetary-wise to attempt to work with Republicans on cost concerns? And also, the Trump-led bloc to remove the Attorney General, you called for an investigation. So I wanted to ask you, if you may, comment on the status of that investigation?
Yes. Okay. Two things. First, the number one need for America is for bold, strong relief. We have the greatest economic crisis we've had in 75 years since the Great Depression. We've had the greatest healthcare crisis in 100 years since the Spanish pandemic flu wreaked havoc across the globe 100 years ago, a century ago. And so we need a big, bold plan. We hope the Republicans will join us in that. Now, some of the remarks from some of the Republican leaders has not been very positive, but there's a meeting today at the White House, and I am hopeful that Republicans will see the need. But if they don't, there are tools we can use to move forward on our own, and we will, because the number one goal is a bold package that meets the needs of the American people. Back in 2008, the arrow was whittled down, and the recovery took a decade. We cannot go through that again. Second, in reference to your second question, what happened was just despicable. For the president to try and get an attorney general who will just totally lie about the results of the election and cause chaos in America, when the greatest thing we've had in this country, or one of the handful of greatest things, is the peaceful passing of the torch for 200 and some odd years. It was despicable. So I have asked for the Inspector General to investigate what happened, and then we will follow up on that. The Inspector General, I believe, he hasn't communicated to us, but I have good reason to believe he will go forward.
Thank you.
Yes.
What are your feelings on the future of the filibuster?
Well, as I said, Mitch McConnell is not going to dictate to us what we will do, and we will move forward and decide on an organizing resolution that where Democrats make the decisions, not Mitch McConnell. Yes. Okay, thank you, everybody. Nope, that's it. Thank you, folks. Have a nice day. Am I rooting for the Bills? Yes. I am rooting for the Bills. Thank you for asking. They are amazing. As you know, I helped keep, guess who I prevented taking the Bills out of Buffalo years ago? He was one of the co-conspirators against the Bills staying in Buffalo, Donald Trump. And we beat him. And the Bills are still in Buffalo. They're a great team. I hope they go all the way. I'm a Giant fan in the NFC, but I have always been a Bills fan in the AFC. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day. Thank you.